Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is another press conference in the books, and this one was pretty snappy. There wasn't a heck of the... I mean, the only one that's going to be shorter than this, more than likely, is Nintendo. And that one's going to be barely turn on the stream before it's already over, so... it was Bethesda. And there was a lot of predictable stuff in this one, but before we dive too deep in it, Mr. Totally Not Mr. MaximusBlack, despite where you are on this overlay right now. What is your overall rating, dare I ask, for Bethesda's E3 2017 press conference?
So I'm gonna clarify this. Yesterday I gave EA a 6 out of 10. That was an aggregate score of a 8 out of 10 on content and a 2 out of 10 or 4 out of 10 on presentation quality. So Bethesda today, I'm going to give a 4 out of 10 on aggregate of 4 out of 10 on content and 4 out of 10 on presentation.
Okay, fair. I agree. That was a pretty trashy press conference that, honestly, I feel like they didn't even really need to have a press conference.
They did not want to be there. The guy did not seem excited at all.
No, he was falling asleep on stage. I was falling asleep in my chair. No.
They could have given us a video and just be like, yo, here's our video. Check this shit out.
Exactly.
We're at E3. Let's go drink, bitches. That's what we could have gotten.
Yeah, and instead we get this weird week, like Bethesda Land.
They tried to do 5 different themes at the same time, and then put them all together, and it didn't mesh. It was just awkward. I like the fact that they did the whole video thing, and they kind of just chained everything, and they didn't bring people out every couple of seconds to be like, oh, well, I'm going to talk about this in some very trite and uninteresting fashion, and then go right into it. Yeah, the Bethesda Land transitions, kind of a wash, is kind of weird, but fine. The problem I had mainly with their entire conference, and similar to probably what you have, it's a lot of rehash stuff. They didn't really talk about the stuff we should be really excited about. And they didn't really have a flow to it. They were kind of all over the place. They had segments, but it was up, down, up, down, up, down. What are you doing? You go from Doom to Fallout to cards to MMO to rehash Skyrim port on Switch. Then you're gonna juke left and jump over the hurdle and show some other game. Then you're going to show me some really weird video of milk, and I think of why you should be scared of it. And then you do some racist stuff with the milk, and then you backpedal into ending the conference, and then you just show me some weird stuff from Wolfenstein. They could have done so much better with the Wolfenstein reveal than what they showed us there.
Well,
they did a disservice to themselves.
I really do think that they didn't need to have a conference at all. They just stretched at best 15 minutes worth of content to 45 minutes, roughly 40 minutes.
My favorite thing about that conference was finding out that your birthday is going to be ruined by that game.
The Evil Within 2. How that game did well enough in any regard to make them believe that a follow-up to that hot mess was necessary. Now, to be fair, I do remember that for whatever reason, there was a lot of people that actually enjoyed The Evil Within. I do not understand how it's possible. I've now played and completed that game twice. And
I played that game at PAX when they were demoing it. And I literally told the developer guy, and I felt bad because I'm usually pretty civil. I'm like, this game is trash. I said that to a PR, and he's like, well, can you explain that? I'm like, controls were sluggish. Oh, well, it's not done yet. I'm like, the mechanics just didn't seem like they worked. Cameras were all messed up. It's weirdly paced. and it just wasn't fun. Like, you guys are like trying too hard with the horror stuff. Like, I'm like, it's a bad game. Sorry.
Guess what? None of that changed when it was released. Exactly, none of it. It was
too close.
Oh, it was just so bad.
I watched
on
you play
many
it.
levels.
It was comedy, comedy gold. I'm gonna enjoy your birthday more than you will.
Yeah, like I said, like I said in the full reaction video that we did while we were watching the conference, the only game I can think of off the top of my head that I have played and beat that had a worse ending is The Witness. Other than that, The Evil Within is the worst ending to a video game possibly ever. And it's the
reason why
it goes off the rails into full anime at such a pace that like you don't even see it coming. Like you don't get any anime the whole time, and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of a manga and you're just lost. It's stupid.
What was that trailer? Like, what was that trailer? Like,
it was gut milk from the 90s. That's what it was.
Yeah,
it was a
like,
gut milk commercial.
The music. What the hell was the music? They were like slow-mo when I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, you were not telling me about this game all that well. And I'm like confused by what you're showing me, and I'm a smart guy. Like, I looked at that and I'm like, I get you're trying to be artsy, but this is physically weird. Like, this is not entirely, like, I want to know what marketing I looked at it like, I would buy that fucking game. And I want to backhand him. Or her.
The whole thing
was
the whole thing. That whole trailer was absolutely terrible. The gameplay looked identical to the first. It literally looked like it was just playing like the first game, and it's probably the same engine. Everything's probably the same. It's going to be terrible. So you know,
that's the entire problem with the entire line of this press conference. It's like a marketing miss. Like, whoever should have been looking over the message that each title should have been sending, that was just absent. Like, the entire conference was just kind of all over the place. Like, they were trying too many different themes. But going back to Evil Within 2, I think the reason why we're getting a sequel is Bethesda, they have a lot of really popular titles and franchises, and they're kind of hurting for relevance still, despite that, because they've had a couple of misses, or just like they haven't done anything super fresh in a while. It's just kind of counterintuitive, but I feel like they put a lot of effort into the Evil Within franchise and design, that even though they missed on the first one for a lot of gamers, they're like, we have the assets, we're close enough that we don't have to do a major overhaul. Let's just try again. Like, let's see if we can do better this time. Based on that trailer, I don't know if they're gonna do that. I'm not even interested in the least.
The answer is no.
I don't know.
The more I think about it, the worse this whole presentation was. I mean, first of all, the first at least half,
are you moving
maybe
down to a
3/4. It might be, because I want to give them. I don't want to go lower than a 3 because they at least showed us Quake and Wolfenstein.
Content and gameplay.
But even then, okay, so Bethesda just paraded out in front of us for at least, I want to say, 20 minutes to 25 minutes. Maybe even more. I'm not entirely sure. It's late. I'm tired. Time is not something that my brain's keeping track of. They paraded in front of us Fallout 4 and Skyrim for almost half, if not more than half of that presentation. They dragged that shit out in front and said, hey guys, remember we made Skyrim and it's been everywhere, but like, here's some more Skyrim stuff and the mods that you're now going to be paying for. And here it is on the Switch. And here it is with the awkward tiny man hands controllers with motion controls. And maybe you can feel the dragon nuts jingling around when you move the controller.
How many dragon nuts do you have when you shake it?
There's at least 2. At least 2. But they're large, so sometimes it's deceiving. And then
with the amount of time they spent on Skyrim on Switch. That was like, what, 30 seconds?
Well, that's fine, but the fact that they keep dragging Skyrim out just kills me. Like, it's a dead horse. Stop. It's already dead. Like, it's been dead. And like,
they need to stop showing Skyrim and just hold out until they give us Elder Scrolls 6. Like, they need to stop with Skyrim.
And then they have, I mean, every time they bring up Skyrim now, like I said in the reaction stuff was literally I said I get angry. I get angry now, and it wasn't for hyperbole or entertainment. I'm actually starting to just get angry because people.
It's a good game, but they keep like trying to browbeat us with it. There hasn't been any new content on Skyrim forever. No, it's just mod crap. Sorry, not mod crap. There's some really good mods.
The mods are better than the games usually. The unfortunate bit is now I have to imagine this is the case, and I can't imagine I'm alone in this. Every time they drag out Skyrim, I mean, how many E3s has Skyrim been at now? It's probably every single one since it was announced.
Yeah, it just keeps going every time, new platform, new everything, all the time.
I feel like it's insulting. You're literally you're not gonna show us Elder Scrolls 6.
Scrap the Skyrim time. We've seen Skyrim so much. Don't give us the random influencer bullshit about showing us Morrowind and stuff. Give us actual gameplay of Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, because that's the latest Elder Scrolls thing you have released.
That you have. Yeah.
I would have preferred to see more gameplay on that, sell everyone on that, and be like, yo, this is the shit we got coming out now. Because we're not getting Elder Scrolls 6 anytime soon. I don't think we're going to see that until maybe 2019. They just released a new Elder Scrolls. Don't give us Skyrim. Give us Morrowind.
They fucking put the Master Sword and a cosplaying Nord playing Link in Skyrim. We've hit bottom. People thought fidget spinners were the fucking problem. No. Skyrim, Bethesda needs a freaking intervention. We need to hold an intervention for Bethesda, and they're going to walk home from work one day because they're working on Skyrim being ported to a TI-83 calculator, and we're going to say, guys, it needs to end. This is it. You've hit bottom. We need you to move on with your lives.
I saw them take the amiibo and put it on there. I'm like, oh no, you don't do it.
And it happened.
And I saw the chest drop. I'm like, oh no. And then it just got so much worse. It just
kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then they got Fallout 4 VR. The only thing about Fallout 4 VR that I'm interested in is if it actually makes the building in Fallout 4 tolerable. That's literally the only thing I could envision that being good for Fallout 4.
If they made that work without you getting nauseous, that'll be interesting, but I don't foresee that being something you're going to be able to play without getting nauseous, because I tried playing Subnautica, which is a very similar first-person type of game, while doing the whole seated experience, and it did not go well. I am not someone who gets motion sickness. I can read in cars, I can read in planes, I can read while like on my phone, in a car, whatever. I don't get motion sick, and I felt motion sick playing Subnautica, which was a very similar type of game, moving a lot slower pace than Fallout 4. It was so bad that I actually felt motion sick the day after when I was sitting in a car. It took like a day or two for my body to reset itself after that Subnautica experience.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not sure how they're going to translate Fallout 4, especially with the way they're doing the movement. I feel like that's going to be controller-based movement, and that's not going to go well.
Controller-based movement never goes well for VR.
I played a ton of VR games. Like I've been playing Star Trek, I've been playing Space Pirate Train, I've been playing a ton of games. Don't get motion sick. Subnautica was the first one I got motion sick on, and I looked at Fallout, and I'm like, Doom. I'm like, I might actually get sick playing that.
You know what the incredible irony is here? Is that of the two games that they could have slapped VR on, Skyrim was a better choice.
Yeah, Skyrim. Had they said Skyrim VR, I would have been completely okay with that.
Yeah,
here's Skyrim on VR. I'm like
I'm not gonna go do it.
Skyrim and Fallout, I'm like done.
But of the two, if you sat people down and said, "Hey guys, would you like the Elder Scrolls Skyrim in VR, or would you like Fallout 4 in VR?" How many fucking people are going to side Fallout 4?
Shield, bam, throw magic.
Yeah, it might even make the shitty combat in Skyrim. It might even make the shitty combat in Skyrim tolerable. Yeah. Oh, it's just
fantastic.
Oh, it's just bad. Now you know what? You get to look at Preston friggin' what's his face up close and personal, tell you that there's another settlement that needs your help.
All right. So lowest point in the conference for you.
Lowest point in the conference? Oh, that's not even it's no brainer. It's fucking Nord cosplaying Link. That's absolutely the lowest. How does it get lower than that? I don't like. Where's bottom from that? I don't know. What about you?
Evil Within 2 trailer for me.
Okay.
Like that
Honestly,
one. Like that one mentally
can
shut
I
me down. I'm
be
like, I don't care about this.
can I be real with you though? I
I know we never real.
actually I could make more heads or tails of the Evil Within 2 shit than I did with Wolfenstein up until they put the gameplay on screen. I had no idea what was happening.
Now, all you folks who are going to be listening to this will not necessarily get this reference, but one of our regulars from the podcast and in general from the communities has pointed out when I said the low point of the Bethesda conference, the answer is yes.
Yeah, no, that's accurate.
That'll be accurate.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. I would say Wolfenstein was a high point for me, but yeah, the last 30 seconds or 10 seconds.
The gameplay was.
Yeah. If they literally just cut out all of that fluff of, oh, we're building a story, just be like, yo, BJ Blazkowicz is getting up, and then you just show gameplay footage of him blowing things up over and over in different scenarios, I'm like, sold. That's what they need to realize. Like, I know you guys do like big story games and everything. We know it.
Wolfenstein is not where you apply that logic.
You've done, and argue. You guys can argue with me on this one in the comments if you like. Even though Bethesda is not the greatest game dev studio, they own one of the greatest shooter development studios of all time, ID Software, Doom, Quake, They made these games and they're like legendary historical games of greatness. I don't think I've played a bad Doom. I have not played a bad Quake. Quake Legends is a little weird. Quake Live is a little weird, but they make fantastic shooters. So all Bethesda needs to do to sell at least me on a shooter is show me gameplay footage of tight gunplay, amazing sound design, and performance. And you've sold me on your shooter. I will buy it because that's what you guys do.
Which is basically what the last
and they gave us 10 seconds of that. Yeah,
the thing was. And before that, it was the weirdest supercut of cutscenes. I had no idea why I had to see that, and then the lead up to that with like the weird 1950s, whatever the hell that was,
real like that FMV like full actor weird 60s trend. I'm like, I didn't need that.
Hard like, was real, man.
Yeah, what did they think it was going to go viral or something? That just looks stupid. It was a waste of time, a waste of money. Again, and I think that goes back to what we were saying. Everyone's kind of sick of seeing all like the crazy marketing stuff. They want to see games, they want to see specs, they want to see details. So
yeah, that's the theme of this E3.
Yeah, I'll give Bethesda the benefit that again, we talked about it earlier during the reaction video. Awesome that everything shown is coming out in 2017. Granted, a lot of it is rehash stuff. I'm going to give them props that everything is coming out in 2017. Wolfenstein 2017, cool. Dishonored stuff coming out in 2017, awesome. That's respect. That's how it should be. Like all this stuff should be coming out very soon. Like that I'm gonna see before the next E3. So I'm cool with that.
I'm actually kind of sad that Dishonored 2 stuff got so little time.
Like, they need to give us more. Like I get the title is like Death of the Outsider or whatever. That seemed kind of like very descriptive, but at the same time very uninspired. I kind of wanted to see a little bit more gameplay about it. It seemed cool. I actually do still need to play Dishonored 2. I was waiting for them to patch it up a bit more.
It's alright. At this point, I'd wait for the DLC, honestly.
Yeah. I think
or just wait until they come out with they'll come out with a Game of the Year edition where they have all the DLCs and wait and buy that. I wouldn't run out.
Dishonored 2.
No, I wouldn't even run out and buy it. It's okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it did like the Wolfenstein thing was nice. It looked fantastic. I mean, it's running in the same engine now as the latest Doom did. So it's going to run at 500 FPS.
I want to see more Quake
on a hamster-powered potato, and it's going to look great. But what I did get from it though, watching it, is it did look a little too doomy. It looked literally like I was watching a Nazi painted Doom.
Well, that's the thing. Back in the day, Doom, Wolfenstein, and Quake were on very similar dev cycles that they kind of alternate as they came out for the earlier editions. And I'm not against that because the games looked kind of the same back when they were older. So I'm not surprised we're seeing kind of the same thing. The only difference within like the weapon style and that. So I guess we'll get a better idea once the games are actually out. Like Doom was always more based on speed and movement. Wolfenstein was based on just killing as fast as you can. So they kind of took very subtle slants on how the shooters work, but it was always kind of similar engine work. So I'm not too surprised by that. Actually, this actually goes into the rest of everything. Like we were saying, they kind of missed the message on every single thing they were trying to talk about.
Yeah.
Quake. Can we talk about that?
Yes, let's talk about Quake. We saw a whole lot of
was retarded.
Yeah, well, we saw the esports people being very stoic and serious and epic, and the one girl on camera awkwardly sexually caressing her keyboard, and then cut to some like short gameplay bits, yeah, and it was just a bunch of them walking down a hallway. So. Yeah, which is weird because that game is being played right now. Like, there's no reason to not show a sizzler reel of actual gameplay for Quake Live.
Yeah, from
Quake, what is it called? Like, is it Quake? No, it's Quake Champions.
Something like that.
Yeah,
like show me epic kills, show me speed, show me skill shots, rocket jump, show me all of that.
Because they just, because the guy that was up on stage, can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was falling asleep the whole time, and he just casually drops the whole, go and practice, the Quake thing we showed. Go practice because we got this $1 million event thing happening at QuakeCon. It was like the most just fucking droll, just barely made it out of his mouth, no energy, just lazy.
Where was his coffee?
Spoken. I have no idea, but he needed coffee. He needed to bang a rail or three before he went out on that stage, because that dude was low key as how do you low key announce $1 million Quake tournament and then also show a bunch of footage of just awkwardly caressing keyboards and walking down hallways and trying to look impressive as an esports player?
80%. If they kept all the footage of the esports people in that trailer for Quake, they needed 80% more Quake gameplay footage. Like, they needed to show people at events doing like, yeah, I won, like, type of like victory moments and stuff. That's how you hype up a tournament.
Cringe, really? It's just cringe. You need to show maybe the crowd's losing it.
Oh yeah, no, the crowd's like, no, guy gets killed, shows like the epic like fist pump reel, crowd goes wild. That's how you sell that.
Sure.
Like, they missed that entirely. They missed that entire vibe.
Speaking of selling
shit, we're gonna show edgy esportsers.
Speaking of selling shit, they want you to pay for your mods on console now. So you're gonna have this creators club or whatever they called it, where you get you get credits, and I believe buy credits with what's called real currency.
I want to look that up before we at least we might talk about that one on Friday for a little bit.
Well, we are still live right now. Has anybody else looked that up ahead of time? Are we actually paying real dollars? Is there any way of doing it for free, or is it all paid? We can ask that to the chat while we're talking about this stuff.
I'm curious what that actually means.
But I mean, I would have liked to have seen just like everything at this E3. I was hoping to maybe see a new IP from Bethesda, something. Even if you just told me it was 2 years away, tell me you're working on something we haven't seen before.
Here's what Creation Club is, from the sound of how Bethesda's been telling people. It's pretty much where they have mods and stuff that are out. They go work with external partners, and then we'll pay those external partners. And then they will take the mod, they'll put it through full internal development cycles too at Bethesda, which apparently includes localization, polishing, and more testing. And then they'll include Bethesda developer support on those mods. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like they're pretty much outsourcing their DLC to the modders and then bringing it in-house after the work is done. And then
they're vetting everything themselves,
guaranteeing compatibility for that stuff. I guess that makes sense because that's what they have to do for console stuff. Like a lot of consoles.
Yeah, that has to happen. Yeah, that has to happen. But I mean, But I really need to know if it's only paid for. That's what I really want to know. Like, can you earn credits? Yeah, because if it's entirely paid for, that's absolutely brutal. Because now you just hyped everybody up around having mods on consoles, and talked about how there was 300 million downloads or whatever since they launched that whole program, so on and so forth. And then you're gonna pull the carpet out from underneath of that and say, hey, now you get to pay for it. The only thing is, I guess, if this separate. Operates alongside, I was gonna say, so if this operates alongside of that,
this is separate. So mods will always remain free and open, where anyone can create and share whenever they want.
Okay.
And Bethesda is not allowing any existing mods to be brought into Creation Club. Anything that goes into Creation Club has to be new and original content.
Interesting.
So someone's got to build something new. So then it says, and they're saying Creation Club content is created internally with some external partners and some with external creators. All right.
So then I'm guessing, since there's this paid-for process now,
and all Creation Club content has to work together, so you can stack all of those up on top of each other at the same time.
Right. So then I guess then obviously the guys that are deving this stuff have to be getting paid some percentage.
Yeah, they're paying creators.
Whatever.
So I guess that's where. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be cash money if they're doing it that way.
So if that's the case, then if that's the case, I don't have a big problem with it. It was concerning because the way they didn't mention
stay and play.
Yeah, because they didn't mention in the conference, this is at least to my recollection, that it was supposed to be a alongside service, like a complementary service, so to speak.
Workshop.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you have it. That's it's still shit. The whole conference is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's gonna stay at a 4 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, that's not gonna drag it up at all. Was there anything that we didn't get that you were hoping to see? Just as a final thought to
Starfield.
So explain to me Starfield, because I don't remember if I've actually heard about that. I feel like I may have, but it's been so little information and so long that I don't recall what that's all about. So what do you?
Starfield was supposed to be their open world sci-fi. I don't know if it was supposed to be an MMO or not. It was supposed to be it was a sci-fi franchise that they were working on. There's not a lot of info on it, but they were supposed to be announcing it sometime soon. They've been working on it for a while. So this was like where I was expecting them to announce what Starfield is in more detail, kind of like what BioWare and Project Dylan was. Like it was just something they've been working on and behind closed doors. Like we got the Anthem reveal, so Bethesda kind of, I feel like, missed it. I don't know. Like I'm actually super disappointed we didn't see Starfield at all.
Well, then that's what I would have wanted to see, because all I was saying earlier is that if there was something I would have liked to have seen, it's a new property.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a new IP, and it was being sold as like Fallout in space.
But well, of course. Or Skyrim in space with guns. What I'm really interested in is if that new game is on a new engine, or if they're still band-aiding the ever-living shit out of the creation engine.
We'll know immediately when they show it. Like, if we see that, we're like, oh, it's Gabriel. I'm like, minus 20 points out of 10. Like, you're on like a scale of 0 to 10. The moment I see Gabriel, minus 20. Yeah, you're down. You're at negative 10 already, boys.
This ain't golf. You're not winning with that score. That's just bad. If I see
Gabriel needs to die.
Anything that's Gabriel related. No, just anything that's Gabriel related. We're never gonna see it on Unreal.
So get ID to build something. Get ID to build something for you that can actually run games that aren't shit.
Just stop the madness. That poor engine. That really is dead. That one needs to be taken out back and shot.
People are saying that Starfield might be a Sony reveal, similar to Anthem.
It's entirely possible. So I'm still surprised they didn't
hold
mention it.
Judgment till tomorrow, but yeah, that's kind of a miss that you won't even mention it in your own press conference.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Even if you're literally just like Starfield. done, and then move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Let's be like, because everyone would have started talking about like, what do they mean by that? When are we going to see it? Like, it would have built some hype level just by having it like that.
Yeah. What
Overall,
a weird conference. What a strange conference that was. But yeah, so that's I guess just about it, ladies and gentlemen, for our Bethesda coverage. Tomorrow we get to witness Sony's rebuttal to Microsoft's Thunderdome that they brought today, and that I believe is.
I'm not holding it against Sony, because when the whole console reveal thing happened, Sony absolutely shit on Microsoft. So they're kind of might be reversing places this time. So you know what? Sony is still ahead, and Sony is even in my book in terms of conferences until we see what they do tomorrow. Like, Microsoft closed a big gap in terms of.
Oh well, I'm not even looking at I'm not looking at the last shit. I mean, obviously Sony spanked Microsoft pretty hard. Last year it was about neck and neck. Microsoft actually pulled it over on PlayStation in a couple of spots, but it was just the games. You couldn't keep up with PlayStation on the games.
Yeah.
So this year though, it's a high bar. I don't even care if it's about PlayStation trying to keep up with what Microsoft just put out, or Sony keeping up with what Microsoft just put out. I just want to see you know what they have up their sleeves in general, and see what they can bring to the table. And that's tomorrow night. What time does that start, Panic?
9, I think.
9 your time?
Exact times. I think 9 my time. E3 2017 schedule.
So Ubisoft's at 4 your time?
I am not here for that. I work a real job.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. No, I will at the very least, I imagine if I'm up and around and capable, I'll even solo Ubisoft if I need to.
You're going to do the PC gaming show?
Is that
one's at
Ubisoft?
1. That's 2:00 your time.
Okay, 2:00 my time. I guess I could maybe also do that. By the time I asked people if they would want to see me solo those things before the stuff later on in the evening, it's already that time, because this stuff's going to go up on YouTube before then. So
yeah.
I'll probably attempt to do that. I don't know. I'll ask Twitch right now while we're here. Ladies, would you like to see me solo the PC show and Ubisoft? Yeah? Okay.
I'm sure they're going to want content over anything.
Okay. We'll make it happen then. We'll give her a go. So yeah,
guys,
so there you have it.
I would love to help out about with it, but I'm not going to be around during the day, so I can't cover any of the day events. I will be here for the Sony one though. That's
that's fine.
9 p.m. Eastern time, so 10:00 your time.
Okay, so I'm going to write this down, what we just talked about. This is the most hilarious video for YouTube right now, but so the PC show was 2 p.m. my time?
2 p.m. Atlantic. Ubisoft is 5 p.m. Atlantic. Sony is 10 p.m. Atlantic. It's hour for Euro time, because that's 2 a.m.
That gives me
Sony for them.
That gives me some time to try and put together. I might lump because then I'll forget probably. I was gonna lump PC show and Ubisoft reactions together, but I'll probably forget everything before Ubisoft rolls around, so I'll actually just do that stuff off the cuff. All right, well, for Bethesda stuff, we are definitely, as you can tell, done. So thank you guys for watching this on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching this on Twitch. For listening, you guys out there on the RSS feeds for iTunes and Google Play Music and everywhere else that you're listening to us, maybe even some SoundCloud in there. We're going to have more for you.
Let us know what you guys think about the extra content, or if you like this form of content for conferences and stuff, because we can try to make that happen more.
yeah, give us feedback. The more feedback you guys give us, the better, because it allows us to try and inform the stuff that we do for the podcast that isn't just the weekly show. And so definitely let us know, if you're listening to this on iTunes or something, you're looking for a place to put it, the community wall on Patreon, or even Twitter, or Facebook, or anywhere you can get a hold of us. You let us know feedback wise what you guys think, and we'd appreciate that a great deal. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. For those watching on YouTube, thank you so much once again, and we will be seeing you guys tomorrow for some 3 conferences. My eyes are going to be on fire tomorrow by the time this is all said and done, doing all the editing and for all this audio, but we're going to be good to go. I hope you guys have been appreciating the fast turnarounds on this. Until we see you in the next one, peace.